For 10 years, a masked man broke into homes across California at night. He bound husbands. He raped wives. Then he vanished without a trace. Police called him the East Area Rapist, then the original Night Stalker. He committed at least 13 murders and 50 rapes across 11 counties. For 4 decades, nobody knew his name. Then in 2018, a single DNA sample changed everything. ORBIS Crime File presents the case that proved no one stays hidden forever. He came at night through unlocked windows and sliding doors. He woke couples at gunpoint, tied the husband, and raped the wife while he listened to the man weep. Then he vanished into the dark California suburbs as if he had never been there at all. For 40 years, police across 11 counties could not find him. They did not know they were hunting the same man. He would later be called the Golden State Killer. It began in 1974 near Sacramento with a string of burglaries police called the Visalia Ransacker. By 1976, the attacks turned violent. A masked man wearing a ski cap began breaking into homes after dark, always targeting couples, always using the same method: binding the man, threatening to kill the children if anyone moved, then raping the woman for hours. He called himself many things to his victims. Police eventually called him the East Area Rapist. Over the next 3 years, he struck more than 40 times across Sacramento and the East Bay. In 1979, the attack shifted south to Goleta and Santa Barbara, and the crimes turned deadly. The killer murdered his victims and began leaving almost no evidence behind. He was meticulous, wearing gloves, taking precautions no ordinary criminal would think of. Detectives eventually realized why. He moved like a man trained in law enforcement. Between 1979 and 1986, he is believed to have killed at least 13 people across Southern California, all while continuing to evade identification in the cases up north. Investigators began calling him the original Night Stalker. For 2 decades, the case went cold. Then in 2001, advances in DNA technology proved that the East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker were the same man. Author Michelle McNamara began investigating the case independently, and in 2013 coined a new name that stuck: the Golden State Killer. She died in 2016 before her book on the case was finished, never knowing the killer would be caught less than 2 years later. The breakthrough came not from a police database, but from a public genealogy website. In April 2018, investigators uploaded crime scene DNA to a free public genealogy site called GED Match. It matched a distant relative of a 72-year-old former police officer named Joseph James DeAngelo, living quietly in Citrus Heights with his daughter and grandchild. Detectives secretly collected a discarded DNA sample from his property. It was a match. He was arrested in his own driveway. In June 2020, DeAngelo pleaded guilty to 13 murders and dozens of rapes. He was sentenced to life without parole. The Golden State Killer case changed criminal investigation forever. It was the first major case solved using investigative genetic genealogy, matching crime scene DNA against public ancestry databases. Dozens of cold cases have since been solved using the same method. Joseph DeAngelo will die in prison. At his sentencing, he stood from a wheelchair, removed his mask, and told his victims he was sorry. For the families who waited 4 decades for an answer, it was the first time they ever saw his face. He hid behind a badge and a quiet suburban life. 40 years later, a swab of saliva ended it all. From ORBIS Crime